Hello, everybody. Just if you would acknowledge my audio, let's just make sure it's working. The light's on the mic. So no Hanks allowed on the live stream. Audio is good. Audio is good. So sorry, I had to change a video setting there. So sorry about that. So tomorrow is Harris Lake, and it's our second event on Harris this year. And it's probably going to be pretty warm. Sorry, just pulling up the hourly forecast to look at tomorrow. So at about lunchtime, it's going to be around 68 to 70. And it looks like it'll peak about 86. So that's not that bad. Looks like wind may be part of, I'm sorry, not much of an issue. Rain ranges from, looks like rain staying right around the 10 to 12% chance mark around there. So we have several new names signed up this time that I haven't seen before. So that's good. We've got some guys that haven't fished with us before, and as such, one particular angler is going to be at the cross point ramp and is going to need a identifier tag. So if someone can print an extra or has an extra, if you can confirm that on here, that you can bring an extra tag to Crosspoint. I'm sorry, I was looking for his message so I could at least give everyone his name. And I'll have that in just a minute. So as always, both boat ramps are. I feel like I'm stuck. My brain is stuck, Peter. So as always, both boat ramps are legal. You can launch beside bridges. Any place that everyone. Is it still frozen? I thought it was me. Let's try this. Am I moving now? Hopefully I'm moving now. But someone post it here as soon as it catches up. Yeah, I took myself out of the feed and then came back on. So yeah, let me try that, Paul. Camera. Maybe this gets better. I just lowered the resolution of the webcam. It's not frozen on my screen, though. Good to go. Good to go. So anyway, we're going to start at Harris tomorrow. We both bridges. You can launch at both boat ramps. You can launch at bridges. Basically, any place that anyone else can access the same way you can is legal. So I believe we said launch time is 5:45, but I'm pulling that up here. Seems like every time I get stuck out running an errand and get back to the house just in time to do this, and I don't have the information like I should. So you can launch at 5:45. You can put your lines in at 6. So it's not a launch and lines in at the same time like we have been doing. We did go back. Right now we have a 15-minute buffer to try that. People expressed the fact that they did like a little bit of buffer to get to a spot. So I didn't do a full 30 minutes, and people did want to be there a lot earlier. So felt like 15 minutes was okay to do. So launch at 5:45, lines in at 6, lines out at 2. Make sure your fish are uploaded by 2:30, and we're going to have a weigh-in up at the Holloman Landing at 3 o'clock. So that gives everybody the times. Please be cognizant not to throw a line in the water before 6 a.m. And that was one thing that the other way of doing it eliminated for us was we didn't have to. The minute a boat was launched, it could fish, and we didn't have to find ways to police that rule. Sorry, I'm still trying to get to the inbox here. So a few minutes ago, I was talking about needing an extra tournament tag at the Cross Point boat ramp. And I didn't see if someone said they could bring one. If you're going to that ramp and you can bring an extra tag, let me know, and I can give the other person your information. The gentleman that needs a tag is named Larry Jones. And I'll instruct him just to kind of ask around at the boat ramp to try to find somebody that has one. Our identifier code has been released on Fishing Chaos. It's 22 H as in hotel 2. So 22H2. Make sure that is correct on your tags. If you submit fish before the judge is awake, and he can't give you that feedback immediately, and you will lose some fish if you submit them with anything other than 22H2. Other than that, all of our rules are the same. Wear your life vest all the time. Only take your life vest off if you are adding or removing clothing, and I don't think anybody will really be doing either tomorrow. It's going to start off warm and stay warm all day. Definitely want to thank, as we always do, our sponsors. First and foremost, Carolina Paddle Sports Outfitters for being our title sponsor this year and allowing us to do this and cover some business expenses like the software that we broadcast on and some others. Also, Carolina Bass Co. for being the Angler of the Year sponsor. Carolina Bass Co. and CPSO were with us last year. They're very, very valuable to us. Yak Attack for giving us gift cards. Crappy Canoe for a door prize and the wild card prize at every tournament. There is a wild card prize tomorrow. So the largest fish measured and with a picture taken and show the picture to me at the weigh-in, and you'll get a gift card. Joey's code's 33H3. So it can be a bowfin, a big crappie, a white bass, a catfish. Seems like a catfish has won it every time. We want to thank Gray Goat Lures for the spinnerbait packs that we give out at every tournament. Chick-fil-A, Town Ridge Square for supporting us and giving us gift cards for the tournaments. Pincushion Tattoo Studio, very, very nice prize that they give us for every tournament, a $400 gift card. So definitely want to thank those guys and thank them for their participation in the tournaments as well. It's to have a sponsor that actually fishes with us is pretty nice. Bluegrass Rods for donating some rods for us to give away this year. Third Eye Baits for some of the soft plastics they give, and Carolina Waters for their support. They sponsored 2 individual tournaments this year. A lot of the guys that fish with us have been added to their pro staff, and we really just want to thank them for their support. I haven't seen any questions popping up in the comments over there. I'm trying to think, is there anything else? Make sure that the mouth is closed on your photo submission. Make sure the mouth is closed. We don't have a 1/4 inch allowance anymore, because you can't judge a 1/4 inch when you're judging the fish. And some of them were just too borderline, and it was just much easier to go to black and white, open or closed. So make sure your fish's mouth is closed. If we can look through the lips and see the color of the board on the other side, that's an open mouth. So, if it's closed almost all the way up and then the lips just kind of curve, that's not an open mouth, but you can tell what's open and what's not. So be really careful with that. Make sure I can see your whole board. Not the entire board, but make sure there's a couple of inches of board behind the tail of the fish when you submit it. Some pictures have been submitted so close to the with it cropped so close to the tail of the fish, and then the fish is blocking all the inch markings on the board. I couldn't tell what size the fish was. That was a tough one, because it was submitted around 20 or 21 inches, and then to not be able to give someone credit for a fish, whether it was 19, 20, 21, whatever it was. Always make sure the fish is the mouth is to the left, tail's to the right, and that the board is oriented as well. Make sure they're up against the bumper part of the board, the rail, the fence, as much as possible. They need to be touching. And don't cover any part of the tail. Don't pinch the tail. Don't have your matter of fact, I'm going to share a screen here in just a second. You guys are clowns. I'm going to share a photo here in just a second to make sure that we display how to legally touch the fish, because we're still having some guys. I know it was a rule change from the previous year, but we're still having some guys touch the tails. So let me see if I can figure out how to share screen. Sorry for the infinity look that I had there. But as you see here, the judge needs to be able to see the entire mouth and the eye, and no touching from the rear of the caudal fins or any of the rear fins back. Don't cover the tail. Don't pinch the tail. That was Chad and those guys with KBF. That's some of the cheating scandals they found were involved with the tail, and I don't think anybody in our group will cheat. But this is just the legally way to do your fish. So you can have your whole hand, you can have one finger, or if you've got a nice calm fish, you can not be touching it at all. So seems like it's going to be a pretty tough tournament tomorrow, with some misinformation about tournament codes, ID codes, and all the boat ramps seem to be closed for some reason. So I'm just not quite sure how everybody's going to get to the water to fish. But I don't see any questions. I don't make sure that all your settings are on your phone, your location settings. So if you submit your picture on the water, usually I don't have an issue, even if all your location settings aren't set correctly on your phone. If you get in the car and start driving and then submit your fish, or like in the case of some of the monthlies, if you go all the way home and submit your fish from home and you don't have your settings right, it shows me that you caught that fish at your house. And I have no way to verify that you caught it on the water if your settings aren't right. If you go on the group or on the page, there's a saved link that shows you how to test your Fishing Chaos settings. So make sure that you find that and do that. Fish must be 10 inches. But thanks for saying that, Barry. Yeah, fish submissions must be 10 inches or more. And surely I have covered everything now, and I won't think of something else. So Paul is on fire today. So I'm anxious to see the range that we have tomorrow of links, of bags. I hope some of you guys get over 100. It'll be nice. And yeah, watch out for the bow fishing tournament that's there tomorrow. I think they're going to have about 150 boats on Harris. So excited to skunk for the third tourney in a row. All right, guys, I don't really have anything else for you. I will see you at Holloman's parking lot at 3 p.m. for the weigh-in, and wish everybody luck. Hank's got a new kayak, it looked like, so who knows what's going to happen with that. And I don't see anything else. So tight lines, be safe. Have your lights tomorrow. Have your lights when you start. And okay, so PJ asked, how do you have your ID in the pic? So the tournament ID has to be printed on our tourney ID card. And if you, let me see if let me share my screen and I'll post another picture. It'll just be easier if we post a picture so you can see it. Let's get this nice 23¼ inch bass that Don Trail has turned in. Sorry, wrong window. So as you can see here, there are devices. You can get a metal tag or you can have a paper tag, and there are devices that will hold them here for you. Before I was doing this, I would put my paper tag in a Ziploc bag, and you can lay it on the floor of the kayak. You can lay it on the end of your board, anywhere that it's visible so that we can see the fish, unobstructed, and then we see your tag with your tournament code on it. So I hope that helps you. It's all right, PJ. So lines in at launch at 5:45. Lines in at 6. If you haven't used Fishing Chaos before, you need to go on our group or our page and find one of the posted links at the top that talks about Fishing Chaos and how to run a test to make sure that all your settings are correct in the app. And if you can't find that, just message the page and then I can send it back to you in a chat. All right, guys. So any other questions? Send me a chat or whatever, and or text me if you've got my phone number. And like I said, good luck to everybody. Please be safe, and we'll see you tomorrow afternoon at Holloman's. Have a good night.